Welcome to Negotiation, Conflict Resolution, and Peace Building 507 Research Methods and Interpretation. In this presentation, I will cover the reading for Week 1, the learning outcome on peer-reviewed research, and some examples of other students' research portfolios. I will describe the first week's reading articles in alphabetical order. As always, the information on these reading slide presentations and my narration are likely to resurface on the final exam. The main reason I selected the Albert text was how she organizes the development of a research project into frames. Action research is a strand of research designed to solve a pressing problem by researchers within a problem-solving team or as a part of a community of practice. The purpose of action research is to develop new skills or approaches and solve problems with direct. The APA publication manual has some excellent tips for writing along with long stretches of reference material that are difficult to read. Some of the important tips for citations include crediting sources, plagiarism, quoting material, and citing references in text. As you learned in the Turnitin orientation, academic papers are checked for. One of the course learning outcomes for NCR 507 is describe the role of peer-reviewed research in the fields of negotiation, conflict resolution, and peace building. Part of this answer is the peer review process of work for publication. We could also include reviewing each other's conflict resolution processes, interventions, grants, project proposals, business plans, curriculum, negotiation proposals, settlement agreements, and so on. The peer review process for publication can be applied to most other works we create as practitioners. According to the APA, to ensure the quality of each contribution, that the work is original, valid, and significant, scholars in the subspecialties of a field carefully review the submitted manuscripts. Unquote. I would add that the electronic technologies such as Turnitin, Originality Check, and the educational testing services eRater, WriteCheck, and Copyscape are automating the task of screening for originality and the quality of writing. Peer-reviewed journals have editors who are responsible for the content and quality of the research. Some journals used a masked or blind review. The 20-something pages I assigned from the craft of research are summed up on the checklist for understanding your readers on pages 26 to 27. Understanding your readers is one of the most important concepts in the role of peer review in conflict resolution. As practitioners, we are often writing for an audience who are critical of bias and who are looking for neutrality. Even the role of mediator is described as an uninterested third party. The peers who review the work of conflict. I selected the 90 Days to Success in Grant Writing because it is the direct opposite of the masked or blind review process described in the APA manual. In some forms of writing, the expertise of the writer, all the partnerships, and the extensive needs assessments are the focus of the research. Grant writing research requires extensive knowledge of your capabilities, the capabilities of the organization applying for the grant, and the clients who will benefit from the grant. Grants go through a review process that is quite different than publication because the grantors are comparing the ideas of each applicant and whether the organization has the capacity to implement their proposal. A similar process must be considered when making proposals to boards, councils, or legislatures for funding. Moving off the topic of peer-reviewed research and onto the topic of reviewing the work of peers who have already been through NCR 507, I selected 3 papers that you may use to deconstruct or backwards map to get ideas about what your own research portfolio will look like. I have asked each of these students for permission to post their work as examples. This concludes week 1's summary of the readings. I look forward to your comments on the discussion board.